Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. And today, Car and Driver did a test of the Nissan Z versus the Toyota Supra, right? And I think they were a little bit biased. So, guys, you already know what to do. Hit that intro.
Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you.
Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back to the channel. If you are part of the Boost in Motion family, that means you just subscribe to the channel. Guys, please hit the like button because that means that you guys like to give support to the channel, which means that like is a support. So thank you guys and I appreciate it. And if you are new to the Boost in Motion channel, watch this video and watch some other videos. I am Boost in Motion. I used to have two VR30 Q50 Q60s. Both of them were modified. So I know a lot about the VR30 motor, which is in the Nissan Z. And maybe we'll get one on the channel. So anyway, guys, let's go. Let's do this quick screen share. So Car and Driver did their own test. And I honestly think that they were pretty biased. And the reason why I'm going to say that they're biased is because they compared a manual Z versus a pretty much only automatic Supra. Now, how can you make that type of comparison, right? Now, for the people who've been following Nissan Z, we already know that the automatic versus the manual Z is faster, period. 12.2, 12.3 we saw for the automatic, and 12.8 to 12.9 we saw with the manual. Trap speeds were 3 to 4 mile an hour difference, period. We don't want to hear no BS, right? But they chose to use a manual in this one, and I wonder why. So, hey, guys, let's start going through this article and see what we can dissect, because, I mean, I like the Toyota Supra, but I think they were very biased in this. So they talked about some of the geometry of the car. The Nissan Z is about 0.1 inch shorter nose. The Z is narrower by 0.4 inches, but taller by 0.9. The bigger difference is found in the wheelbase, where the wheelbase is 104 inches, and the Toyota Supra is 97.2, which means that the Nissan Z is a little bit wider, right? About 3 inches, right? They talked about the amount of horsepower. We don't really care too much about that because we know they're very similar, right? The Z packs about 200 pounds more, at 3,507 pounds, while the Supra is lighter at 3,382. Now that's almost 200 pounds lighter, and it will show itself. 300 pounds will definitely show itself. 200 pounds, almost 200 pounds, will definitely show itself in performance. Now, what I gotta say is this part is actually a really big key. The Z, excuse me, guys, the Z has 56.4% of its weight on its front tires, while the Supra is 51.7. Anyone who's in the car world that understands dynamics of cars, you would want to get close to that 50 to 50 weight distribution. Why is that important? Because it makes a well-balanced car if you're going to be road course driving the car. It's just a lot better, more balanced cars as long as the suspension is up to par. Knowing that this car is almost 56, it could really show the difference in handling just based on its weight distribution. Now, to continue, they talked about the different pricings. The sport trim, which is 41 versus the 2.0 Teach trim of the Supra, which is about 44,000. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, knowing that Nissan effed up by making the performance about 50,000, it made it too close to the 3.0 Supra, which is about 52 in here. It's not a bargain at that point. And that's why I told you guys in older videos, don't even waste your time and get the performance, get the sport, because it's almost $7,000 to $10,000 cheaper. Just go get that car because you still get the performance. Just trust me. I've been in this platform for quite a long time, right? Now, Car and Driver did a first place and second place by saying that the Z's engaging manual, the willingness of the trend of the motor, and less cash overlay. But then it says the tires were overwhelmed, outdated interior with disappointing materials and shallow trunk space. Now, I've said this before. Um, I like that the interior is newer, but it's still out of date because it's what's already in Nissan vehicles. They took too long to bring out this Nissan Z because of supply chain and all this other BS. But I understand they took their time, but they took too long, right? Also on top of that, they use a Supra saying superb suspension tuning, pleasant ride, and of course potent inline six. While in exterior styling was as lows, cargo space, infotainment could be more intuitive, right? Now, what I would say about the Supra is this, right? You guys have got to understand. I'll make this statement and listen to me. The Toyota Supra is a bargain BMW Z4. BMWs designed their cars to be more well balanced. It is built on a BMW Z4 chassis, which is a good chassis, which handles really well. So you have a bargain Z4 with a Toyota Supra on the front of it. It's more affordable because if you wanted a Z4, I think it's like $57,000 to $62,000, right? While the Nissan Z is pretty much a parts bin 370Z just stiffened up with a twin turbo six in it. So one car is going up, and another car is pretty much just being brought down in price by putting the name Supra on it, right? If you guys don't like that, I get it, but it doesn't matter. It's gonna be more well balanced. Now, this is where I got a little bit more frustrated. They talked about the testing, They said the 6-speed does it about 0 to 60 does about 4.5 seconds, while a Super did 3.7. Once again, this is not a fair comparison. Comparing a manual, depending on how good you shift, which we all know the manual is slower than the automatic. Y'all should, car drivers should have just got an auto. Like, what the F are they doing, right? The gap stays consistent at the end of the quarter mile, while the Z did 13 seconds flat at 111, compared to the Supra at 12.2 at 114. We already saw the testing that the automatic does 12.2, 12.3 already. So it would have been way more fair and a better example as a comparison. Both vehicles benefited from launch control, while the Supra managed well spin better. Cool. Braking also favored the Z. It comes from 70 to 147 and 147 feet, while the Z took 166 feet. This is disappointing. We know why, because the Nissan Z is just a heavier 370Z with the same Ecobono brakes. If you probably went with a better pad with more friction on it, with more metal in it, maybe it'll brake a little bit better. But almost 19 feet of additional braking is terrible. That is freaking terrible, and we know it. But we could also say there's a weight difference here. I get it, but not 19 feet worth, which is really terrible, right? They talked about skid pad. Of course, the Supra handled about 1G on pilots, while the Z handled 0.93G on Bridgestones, which Bridgestones are trash. We know that. Why does Nissan? They must have a contract with these guys for like 15 to 20 years, whatever. So you guys already know what to do. If you get your Nissan Z, trash the Bridgestones and put Michelins on them, right? But also, like I told you, that 50-50 distribution. Once again, if it had better tires, it probably would have helped a lot more with grip. But also that 50-50 distribution could definitely help out a lot better. The Supra is more playful and willing companion on tight technical roads, while the Z doesn't instill the same kind of confidence as the Supra. A lot of this is attributed to less comparable tires that howl wildly when cornering. You see what I'm saying? They're really talking about tires here. And tires are very big because we know in the Q50, Q60 platform, those OEM run flat tires are trash. It's like driving on skates, literally on ice skates. So even getting rid of your run flat OEM Q50, Q60 tires and getting like a bargain non-run flat tire literally handles way better. The car feels and drives a lot better. Let me see if they pull themselves back. They talked about the 3 pedals and the suspension tune for performance, but neither. See what I'm saying? I just don't like what they said. I'm gonna be honest. So you know what? Let me pull out. No matter. Let me finish here. Let's look at the specs. They compare both of them based on test and pricing. 56,000 for the Supra, 53,000 for the Z. They talked about the motor. They talked about the suspension, the tires that came with the car, wheelbase. They broke everything down. And let me see. Wow. They have a 130 mile an hour. It took 19 seconds for the Z to reach 130 miles an hour, while the Supra did it in 16.6. That is a huge difference. That's not fair. That's not fair. And as you guys may not say, oh, it's not fair. You're just crying. It's not equal comparison. If they had an automatic, which they should have had an automatic, and they would have been a better example. Everybody that's part of the super crowd is mad happy right now. Yeah, we look how good we're doing. No, we need an automatic comparison. It's freaking ridiculous. And they talked about rolling start. They talked about, oof, that sucks. They did a Top Gear 30 to 50, 8 seconds. It took 30 to 50 mile an hour. It took 8 seconds. 30 to 50, it only took 2.5. Wow, these comparisons suck. This sucks. Jesus Christ. Breaking from 100 to 0, 331. 100 to 0, 297. That's a huge, that's over 30 feet. And I know the super guys are just happy right now because it just I think Car and Driver was disingenuous with this. I think they were really disingenuous by doing this comparison. They know that they could have gotten an automatic and did a proper comparison because that would have been a lot more fair. I understand that they might not have been able to get one, maybe in that time frame, but they were disingenuous by not doing an apples to apples comparison. The automatic is, I mean, the manual is slower. We know this, but it's not fair. But it's not fair. And once again, it makes the Z look so bad. I know people like the Z because it does have a 6-speed manual, but the people that want to win races are going to get the automatic. Majority of people are going to get the automatic, and that's just what it's going to be. People just like the option of manual or automatic, and that's fine. That's what the day and age is about. That's why when the Supra comes out in manual, then they should do the manual versus the manual and see where it really lies in when it comes with that. But for now, in this instance, this wasn't a fair comparison. From the break-in test, though, I'll be honest with y'all, that is terrible. And even if it's automatic or manual, that's terrible on the Z. But when it comes to performance in 0 to 60s and quarter mile and 0 to 130s, we need an automatic. Come on. The gear ratios are very crucial when it comes to time and mile an hour. Everyone knows that. And you're comparing the 6-speed manual versus an 8-speed automatic ZF. At least let us get the 9-speed automatics was at least automatic versus automatic. And then you guys could do the comparison. I still think if it was an automatic, it still would do just as bad in braking. But I know the performance in the 30 to 50 and the 0 to 130 and the quarter mile will be a lot better in automatic and just a more fairer comparison. Also, to finally end it, it seemed like they spoke a lot about the tires and the quality of tires and the breaking point of the tires. So anyone who's watching, when you get the Z, take off those tires and just put a set of Michelins on there or way better grippier tires. That's it. That will probably fix a lot of it. But most of you guys that gets this car, you're going to modify it anyway. But anyways, outside of that, guys, tell me what you think. I really appreciate you guys for banging with your boy Boost. Tell me what you think. Comment below. Were they being disingenuous? Was it really a fair comparison? Or some of those super fanboys out there probably say, yes, we're going to decimate them. But it really wasn't a fair comparison, super guys. Come on, let's be honest. Outside that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you guys for always banging with your boy Boost. You guys have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost in Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.